Hello and welcome back to another episode, guys. Today we got that new trailer for Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, trailer number 3. Going to be doing sort of a reaction here, as well as a click through breakdown, just looking what we see. So let's hit play and see what we've got. This game looks so good. Sky Kingdom. Oh, there's those things that look like. I think they're officially now Zonai. Sick shot of Link flying down to one of these sky temples. And there again is Link with that old school armor. Still describe this game to me as like the Majora's Mask of Breath of the Wild, right? Like it's going to be little encampments. That's nice. That's one of my honestly that's really my only criticism of Breath of the Wild. I just wish there were more sort of people to interact with. Okay, getting some shots of around. Gerudo Desert. Sky is falling. There's Hyrule Castle. Ooh, was that Demise? Zelda Falling. We saw that in another trailer. Death Mountain. Okay. Whoa, like a laser grid. I'm guessing that's another Guardian. Oh, Link's. That looks cool. Who is that? Wow. This is okay. There's gonna be a lot to break down of this trailer because this is a whole lot.
Zelda, we rely on your knight and that legendary sword he carries. Our last line of defense will be Link.
Okay. Is that her dad? Okay, flying a little thing there. Blocking your shield back. What is that? Oh, okay. You can cart people around. The stasis, we saw them do that. And then it like reverses time. Oh, rocket? This game looks massive. I mean, Breath of the Wild is huge. What? Link piloting like a robot there? This game is going to be pushing the Switch to its absolute.
It's something only I can do.
My guess is there's zero chance this runs at 60 frames a second. I mean, as long as it runs at 30, that's fine.
Revival and the birth of his new world.
Okay, there's Ganon.
Okay, let's go.
I mean, storytelling, this looks like it might be the best, one of the better.
You are not alone.
Oh, okay, so you can fight with people?
You are our final hope.
Wow. 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 Okay, wow, there is so much. Oh, we got a little bit more.
Link. You must find me.
I'm starting to think there is going to be some time elements in this game, whether it's sort of like the fabric, like almost like not multiverse, but some sort of like fabric of, reality or something. Okay, so I'm just gonna do sort of like a blind turn the volume off, click through here. So again, this shot up, one of the early shots here, about 17 seconds. The king, Hyrule itself, we know that there's the sky temples over here in this left corner. You can see you can see some tendrils coming out. I can't tell if that's Hyrule Castle or not. Continuing on here, this looks like some of the area they showed us in the last trailer. some of these sky islands with just little, islands that you can run around in. That might be a is that a talus? That's a kind of a big rock down there in the bottom middle, but it could also be, like it looks like maybe a talus perhaps. Okay, as we continue on a little bit here, here's another one of those creatures. Right. I think in the last one it was sort of confirmed that might be Zonai, who, you go back to Breath of the Wild and other things, there's these like Zonai ruins, who's this perhaps lost ancient race in Hyrule. It's like deep, deep, deep Zelda lore that might be exploring a little bit here. Okay, here's the shot of Link flying down. I mean, look, what is this? Over here, there's just like a enormous, just solid block in the air. All these other things looks like islands and little regions we can explore, but that's just like some big solid block. So that looks like the temple we saw like in the original trailer. You can see some of these ruins too. If you look at on the top of the screen here, that looks almost like how we described them in our world, like the Nazca ruins that you can see from the sky that these designs, which is going to be something that's going to be kind of cool. I'm sure there's all these little secrets that we'll be able to see from the sky itself. Now down here, there's a little bit of red, some fire perhaps. I don't know exactly what region that is. Again, there's some more of those ruins as Link is sort of falling down, and the logo comes in that you can see from the sky itself. And if you look around at the pillars, that I'm blanking on the name of right now, but the pillars, the towers that we can warp to, and then you unlock that and it sort of unlocks it for the region. They have white light coming out of the bottom of it. Really interesting. Here's just sort of main Hyrule field. You can see that some of the landscape has been altered. Again, there's one of those towers, and you can see that. Now here's the town. The town looks about this about the same as it did in Breath of the Wild, but as it continues on here, we start to see these little encampments. Like here's down by Hyrule Castle. There's like that main fountain, and now there's some camps there, which is cool because again, this is one of the things that I just wish there was a little bit more of in Breath of the Wild. It's one of the things I absolutely loved about like Majora's Mask and Twilight Princess, and just like the towns felt sort of lived in Breath of the Wild. They just sort of felt like little places you'd stop into, like little pit stops, as opposed to like things to do in the towns. So I'm glad that they're expanding on that a little bit. There's Link climbing. Now there's one of our sort of regular, trials shrines, and it's got this green blue energy growing out of it, which is kind of cool. Now my guess is here, this sort of big circular stone structure is something that fell down from one of the sky islands. So I think that's what's going to have caused a lot of the shaping in Hyrule, and things that make it look different is going to be, destruction from the ruins in the sky falling down. Okay, now here we get the Gerudo Desert. Okay, is that another thing? Yeah, and as we see it here pieces of the sky are falling down. Now here is this big red dark energy. Could be Ganondorf, could also be Demise, because they don't show his face, but then they do show Ganon's face later. So this might actually be the end, really, of a trilogy of like Skyward Sword, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom. That's sort of been something people have thought about. This is kind of cool. Looks like, like a pirate ship or something that's flying in the sky. Lightning. Here we're going to spend a little more time in these sky ruins. Some of the things we're going to be doing, sky temples, whatever you want to call them. Maybe it's Skyloft, the destruction of old Skyloft. Who knows? Here, Link is flying through this cavern with like lasers. Here, he's pushing something. Now that looks like you're in one of the divine beasts. Here we are out, in some gates and Hyrule Field again, and we're seeing like regular townsfolk or perhaps Hyrule Guard fighting, which is going to be cool. Now here we go, and some people were asking online, who are some of these like creatures we see almost in like black? I wonder if this is going to be some kind of like, is it going to be like ancient, Hylia, right? Is it going to be connections to like the actual goddess of, Hylia that we, know about from Skyward Sword? Or is it going to be maybe some kind of connection to like Dark World or something? Some version that they do in this, or Low Rule or something. There's like a Okay, here we are back in the main chamber where you fight Ganon in Breath of the Wild, and here it's sparkling and kind of gold and cleaned up. Okay, here's Zelda inside of some structure, maybe a divine beast. And that was where she was talking. Here's the Master Sword. Looks like it's back in the pedestal, so we're gonna have to go back to Korok Forest and get it. Here's somebody talking to Zelda. We don't see her face, but it looks like it might be one of those other kind of creatures we saw. Continuing on here. Now we're going to get to see a little bit of the new combat and some of these items. So we saw a giant square before. Here's like just a giant circle. Here's Link dodging something incredibly fast, jumping up. Here he is escorting some people with his horse. Some like Red Dead kind of vibes from that. We saw this in like the original. So here's somebody throwing like a flaming rocket Link, and you can use stasis and somewhat like reverse time. If you go back to the original trailer, Link did that as well. Or maybe I think it was the second trailer, the one that showed off a little bit of gameplay. We know we can craft items. Here he is looking like he is let's increase the resolution on that. Sorry about that. Here's Link, and he's using some sort of kind of rocket, to go up through some of these around some of these like guard posts. Jumping, he's floating a little bit more. Now that looks like Death Mountain, perhaps down there, and that's got those tendrils coming out of it. So that might have been the thing we saw earlier in the trailer. It's almost giving me some Sonic. What was the new Sonic game? Frontiers vibes, which was kind of like Breath of the Wild vibes in Sonic. Getting some little bit of vibes like that. Here's Link fighting somebody's on a trolley in Death Mountain. Here he is, pilot. I know a lot of people are in this. We're going to be pilot some videos. There's like, a stone talus that's got guardians, or that's got like Macablin little encampment on top of it. And Link is piloting something that's got arms, looks like perhaps electric. And we're just going to go run into it. There he was. Looked like maybe he attached a ruby to an arrow. We'll see what it does. That, whatever that thing is, looks cool. Some big giant spidery squid type monster coming up at Link. Big explosion here. Here's where Zelda's holding her earring, right? Which I'm wondering what that's all about. Then here the maybe Demise flies up, causes the blood moon. Then Link gets infected. And then here's Ganon supercharged and back. Link being chased by all kinds of different enemies. Now that is the one everyone's talking about. If I can go back and pause it at the right frame. This woman right here might be Hylia, who's been sealed away for a lot of time, which would make sense if Ganon is back. It also, maybe they just go that route, or maybe because of the ears look sort of different. The ears aren't like a normal Hylian's ears. Again, I still wouldn't pass about the idea of some, and she's got, look, if you look at the necklace she's got, it's like the same thing that Zelda's got. So, maybe connected to like ancient heroes. That might be a thing, actually. Maybe it's like Link, Zelda, and Ganon, which Ganon would be Demise. We're getting like their connection to whichever piece of the Triforce that they have. Maybe that's what it's going to be. And she does like a sort of huge electric blast. Looks like, probably not Urbosa. And we're fighting, here we are fighting with some of the Zora. And right there, look, he's this three-headed dragon. You fight it in like the original Legend of Zelda is like one of the bosses you fight. I always blank on its name, but you fight it right here, and look, it's even the way its headdress sort of looks just like Ganon. And that's the thing, I need to do a breakdown of this too. These sort of, because that's clearly Ganon dispatching his monsters to go attack Hyrule. And then look right here in this little corner, bottom left-hand corner, you can kind of see a hero with a sword. So I'm guessing that's Link. Or maybe that's just guards. Okay. And then, yeah, I think it just sort of ends with Zelda saying, you know, Link. So for me, the big kind of takeaways from this trailer are going to be, I think what we're getting is going to be, I think it's going to be like there's going to be a lot of connections to Skyward Sword, really, with like Hylia and Demise, because obviously we're going back to like the kingdom in the sky. But the fact that Zelda and this other woman have the same, or Zelda's holding the thing that woman was holding, and then it looks like, you know, what we see of Ganondorf, it actually very looks like Demise, like the very long red hair, you know, almost not dreadlocks, but very just sort of long red hair. And they didn't specifically show his face, because here's Zelda holding that thing, and she has like the same earrings that other woman is wearing. My guess is we're gonna see like different versions of these characters and how they're connected to the Triforce. So Demise with Ganon, and then maybe this, you know, sort of like ancient hero with Link, which is why Link looks different when he's in the sky. Maybe actually maybe when we're up there, that's not actually Link. Maybe it is this ancient hero, perhaps, that we're playing, and something's going to have to do with the Master Sword. Interesting. So, okay, well, that's just a fun little breakdown of this trailer. Game looks great. Absolutely cannot wait. I don't care if it's $70, $80, $100. I'm all in. I'm buying it. So leave me a comment as always. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening, and hope you have a great rest of your day.